This is Peace of Mind Sports Podcast. Presented by DinoFam and the Overs Club for your best bet. Now here's your hosts, Mark, Max, and Marley. Peace of Mind Sports Podcast coming to you live for NFL Week 5. Triple M in the house today. What's up, boys? You know.
Hello?
We are Peace of Mind Sports Podcast featuring Mark, Max, and Marley. Marley's all hype. You picked my Browns today. What's up, boys? Happy Sunday. Beautiful October Sunday. It is October 5th, 2025. We are in week 5 of the NFL season already.
One quarter of the way over. One quarter.
Marley, I'm in the same
right
situation as you were last week. I have a Browns game currently going on right now. This week we are in London. No bueno. Not mad about it.
No bueno.
Even as early birds, it's just like, man, like we don't do the normal routine. We got to get ready in a different way. It's not 1 o'clock. It's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
You got to have breakfast at like 8 o'clock to be ready for this. It's terrible.
Can you imagine being a Browns fan living in like California?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to wake
Dude, wow. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:40 in the morning out there. Bro!
Waking up at 6 in the morning to watch 1 and 3 football.
Hey, that would be dedication right there.
I mean, let's just jump right into it, Hazel. Let's just jump right into it.
Browns fans are in London right now. There's quite a bit.
Is there what?
There's quite a bit of Browns fans over there.
Is there?
So
how many is there? Like a 50-50 or what?
Well, my ESPN Cleveland did a sponsored travel trip. Because one of the sponsors is a sponsoring company for like a travel agency, so like they took like 300 people over there.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. So they did a show out there Friday.
See, our Steeler fans just paid for their own shit. We didn't need to do a stupid trip. Let's go, baby.
Okay. Currently, the Browns and Vikings are on right now. We're going to discuss the Thursday night matchup between the 49ers and Rams. But before we get to that, Max, let's talk about some news and rumors around the league. Take it away.
Okay. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about. Now, this one kind of, y'all know as good as I do. And, anybody that's listening live or goes back and listens, want to tell this to y'all as well. You take everything you see on Twitter, social media, kind of like that, as a grain of salt, right? Until you see a lot of different people verifying it and everything like that. But I did see this circulating a couple of days ago of a rumor mill about Anthony Richardson potentially going to the Rams.
Whoa.
Really? Okay.
See some stuff there about him getting traded to the Rams. Kind of sitting behind Stafford the rest of this year and maybe next year. Depends on, Stafford and what he does.
They have Jimmy G still too, don't they?
I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that.
But I get it because I think they want to get a little bit younger in that locker room. I could see it.
Yeah, and now granted, right, like Anthony Richardson is still super, super young, right? Like Daniel Jones is having a really wonderful season so far. But we still need to see the rest of the season, right, before we say he's going to have a season like Sam Darnold had last year, where he just kind of blew up and then got a big contract, yada yada. There's a lot of circumstances that has to happen and things has to happen before they probably even consider trading Richardson, right? Like you got to make sure Daniel Jones is going to be a solid quarterback. Not only that, I think he only signed a 1-year deal originally, kind of like Sam Darnold did with the Vikings, to where after this season he's going to be a free agent. So then you're in the spot, right, to where you're kind of like the Vikings. do you sign him to a big extension, 20, $30 million a year over the next 4 to 5 years? We're probably, a quarter of that guaranteed. Um, or do you let him walk and then you start Anthony Richardson, which per se is not like JJ McCarthy where he's a rookie, right? But I mean, he's still super young. He's already had experience as a starting quarterback already in the league, and then he gets to sit this year and learn and develop and mentally prepare himself a lot more than he is, because physically he's very capable of playing quarterback in the NFL physically. The guy's
Especially
huge. He's got a big arm. He's mobile. I mean, he's literally like Josh Allen.
But he's
Um,
Anthony Richardson just a little injury prone. That's all.
he's injury prone,
Yeah.
and he needs to get his. Honestly, I think a lot of it's confidence more so than, like I said, than his physical play. I think it's all mental. Like, he misses a lot of easy throws, and then he'll turn around, run around the pocket, 360 spin, and throw 160 yards on the dot for a catch. Like, but he'll miss a 5 and out, or a post that's wide open, or a drag that's wide open, just whiff completely. But getting back to the trade rumor, like I said, it's all with a grain of salt. But just wanted to bring that up, right? Because we like to talk about all types of different things on this show. If it's sports related, mostly, especially football, kind of talk about it. I just felt like this would be an interesting topic to talk about this morning.
Yeah, I think with
Because I think if something like that happened, if he did go to the Rams, and let's say he gets traded at the deadline, right, and he spends the rest of this season behind Matt Stafford, that would be so good for him.
if there's a team
But
that
who are the Rams
he could
gonna
restore
give-
his
who are the
career.
Rams
Go
gonna-
ahead, Marley. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. My bad, bro. I hate when we do this shit.
I was just gonna say if there's an offense that he could go to, his best bet would either be in a Sean McVay, kind of like the quarterback. I consider Sean McVay kind of a quarterback guru. I know he's really had just Stafford, so that kind of helped him. But I think he might be able to learn a little bit more being under Sean McVay, or if he went to a team like the 49ers, which I'm sure you're going to get to with Mac Jones. I mean, I think Shanahan's done a fantastic job developing quarterbacks as well. So I wouldn't necessarily hate or give up on Anthony Richardson and a chance to kind of restart his career somewhere else and sign Daniel Jones to an extension. That's all.
But what do the Rams give up to get Anthony Richardson? Like some weak draft picks?
Yeah, that would be you give them a maybe a third, probably more so like two fives.
For Anthony Richardson, you're
like
talking
that.
a third. You could find a starter in the third, bro.
I mean, true, but you could find a starter in with that third pick in Anthony Richardson if you think he's right. It depends on what that team or
that third pick from the Rams ain't going to be that good. Because
it's
gonna be high.
It wouldn't be.
That's a little bit. That's the
difference,
right? Like in our minds or your mind or whatever, right? Like he may not be worth a third, right? Like you may be better off drafting another quarterback in the third from fresh start and yada yada. But we've always got to view it too from what is his value to that team, right? Because we've seen players get traded for peanuts before and be like, why? But then you've got to understand the circumstances around it. Like Jaire Alexander, right? Like we didn't get nothing for him. We released him, right? Because we couldn't find a trade partner. One, whenever we did start trying to trade him, because of a few reasons. One, they got to give something back, right? So you're losing something to get a player that's not guaranteed to sign a long-term deal with you. The second thing, they knew he wasn't going to play for us again, no matter what. Like it done got to that point in the contract negotiations and breakdown, with him being injured and missing the season, where it's like, look, I'm not playing no more for y'all. I want more money, whatever it was, yada yada. Trade me, release me, whatever. And so when teams know that, and plus you know how agents work, right? Agents leak things, agents does things for their clients. It probably got out that, he's not going back there no matter what. So then the team's like, well, why trade for him when I know you're going to end up releasing him soon and I can sign him and not lose anything but money? That's kind of where you're at with the whole Anthony Richardson thing, except the difference is he's a young, still very young, projectable quarterback in this league with all the traits in this league. So they're going to get something. It's just depending on what team wants him, if they do try to trade him, or let's say for this example, like we're talking about this topic, the Rams. If McVay and the GM thinks he's worth a third and that's what the Colts want, and you feel comfortable doing it, guess what? Trade that
That's
third. You get Anthony Richardson. You let him sit for a year or two behind Stafford because Stafford looks good. So I mean, I wouldn't
still
rule
Yeah, as
him
long as
out.
his back, as long as his back hangs on.
As
Yeah.
long as his back hang on, I wouldn't rule him out coming back for at least one more season. And seeing. So I mean, you let him sit for a year and a half potentially behind Matthew Stafford and learn, with Sean McVay. I think that sets him up for a very good, if he can't thrive there, then he's not going to be able to really thrive anywhere. But I mean, this is all hypothetical, anyways, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, I saw it. It's been circulating a few days. I didn't know if y'all seen it or not. Just kind of wanted to bring it up,
Nope.
kind of chit chat about it. Bring some
Yeah.
bring
no,
some
appreciate
what
it.
ifs, bring some interesting topic to the show.
Yeah. As we go, I'll be updating the current game going on between the Browns and Vikings as we go. Vikings had the ball. Mason fumbled. Browns were able to punch it out and recover the fumble like around the 50. Judkins broke out for like a 30-yard run, which set up a 1st and goal. And Dylan Gabriel throws a touchdown pass to Harold Fannin Jr. Browns up 7-0.
There you go. Come on, Pizzle. You got something to look forward to, buddy. Offense, Pizzle. Offense.
Updated pick standings. A fantastic week for Max, going 11-4. Love to see it.
Damn.
One of the best weeks thus far this season. I went 9-5, which I'll take for this season. And Marley, short-lived. You were in the lead before last week. You go 7-7.
I go, at least I went 500, but I got my.
Right. So updated pick standings. I am sitting at 38-21. Marley 37-22. Max 36-22.
This is the tightest season in history right now.
So
Let's go.
Also,
Let's go.
with between our Survivor and Lock of the Week picks, I'm sitting at 4-0 as I'm still in the Survivor pool. We'll get to my pick coming up later. Marley 2-2, and Max 4-0. Now I don't believe that you. I think you meant to give me your lock or your Survivor pick for last week. But I assumed it was the Bears because you were very confident in explaining that pick. So I went and gave that one to you, just so you know.
Yeah. So how about this AJ Brown saga in Philadelphia?
Talk about a player disgruntled on a team that's absolutely thriving, being 4-0, coming off of a Super Bowl. I guess you can't make everybody happy. Yeah, as rumors have reported, actually not even rumors. I believe this was actually said.
This is out there.
Yeah.
This is out there. Like every reputable sports rep in the media has this as a story. You're talking the Chef. You're talking Ari. They've all got it.
Yeah, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith unhappy with their role in the Eagles offense as Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are getting all the touchdowns and attention.
I mean, it's a run first, pass if we have to offense, and it's not pass if we have to very often offense because Jalen Hurts is just going to run the damn ball.
You know what? And if I was Saquon Barkley, I would have been a little mad too because that dude could have had like 40 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, that cost him his MVP. I think Jalen Hurts did. Yeah, I mean, what's their stats this year? I guarantee they're 4-0. But what? How many catches in AJ Brown and Devontae got this year?
I've got you right here. I was about to look at. I was actually looking that up.
I'll pull them up too, so the viewers can see it on the screen.
So, it's not good. Honestly,
it's not. It's horrible. If they have 10 catches, I'll be surprised.
So, and I'm gonna the third one I'm gonna mention. I'm bringing it up just to let you know. Like, I understand the frustration, low key. Devontae Smith has 17 catches.
That's it in 4 games.
AJ Brown has 14
in 4 games.
Yeah,
who also has 14? Saquon Barkley
in 4 games.
The leader in receiving yards is Smith with 158. He can get 158 in a game.
158 yards in 4 games.
Yeah, for reference,
AJ Brown has 100. AJ Brown has 151 in 4 games.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton has 266. Just for reference.
How many receiving yards does Barkley have?
70.
Okay, he's a dunk and dink out of the backfield.
But if you want for reference, the receiving yards leader is Puka Nacua with 588. Then you got JSN with 402.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey has 387 yards. He's third in the NFL in receiving yards right now.
Wow.
You have Devontae Adams, who is fourth with 357 receiving yards on 22 catches. And but see, that's the
22.
difference too. You look at Quentin Johnson is fifth. He has 337 yards on 22 catches. Devontae has
He's having a
22.
fantastic season.
JSN only has 26 catches. So like they don't have that many more catches than them, but they have dang double, triple the yardage.
But
I think a lot of that is because
not only catches, but what are their targets? You mean how many times they actually get the ball towards them?
That's important too. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's their target? You know, they getting tossed out like 30, 35 times a game and only catching. You know what I mean? Or
so
like how many times AJ Brown been targeted this season?
Devontae Smith has 20 targets.
AJ Brown has
that's
28.
5 catches. That's 4 or 5 catches 4 or 5 targets a game.
I'll put it this way.
First game he went 3 targets, 3 catches. Second game 6 targets, 4 catches. Third game 9 targets, 8 catches. Last game 2 targets, 2 catches.
Their total receiving room has 95 targets.
What's up?
Their total receiving room has 95 targets, but Saquon Barkley has 16 of them.
This is the other thing too. AJ Brown. So the first game he had 1 target, 1 catch. But this is the last 3 games: 8 targets, 5 catches; 10 targets, 6 catches; 9 targets, 2 catches.
That's fucking bad.
What's another team? What's a team that passes a lot? You want to go like Tampa Bay? Compare Tampa Bay's.
I'd say Tampa Bay. The Rams.
Okay.
Because the Rams have the number 1 and number 3 leader in.
Yeah, we could do the Lions too. Let's do Tampa Bay first. So Tampa Bay receiving room 133 targets total.
Compared to the Eagles?
Yeah, Mecca Ibuka 31 targets, 18 receptions. 27 targets for Mike Evans. He's only played 3 games.
That dude's got more.
But at the same time,
AJ Brown has 27 targets. So I mean, he's kind of like right up there with a good bit of them. He's just not catching.
The Eagles are 4-0. I mean, I guess these guys are just out there running, running laps.
They're tired of running down the field for nothing, bro.
Running cardio.
They're just out there running track all day while their quarterback runs behind them.
Which could potentially risk injury if they're out there just blocking all day for their star quarterback and running back.
Hey, that's pretty much what they're doing. And
I guess another thing too though is just probably just touchdowns as well, because Devontae Smith has 1, AJ Brown has 1, and then Jalen Hurts has 4 rushing, and Saquon Barkley has 3 rushing. Jalen Hurts has 5 touchdown passes so far, with 3 of those going to Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, they're saying their biggest complaint I read was their red zone targets are down tremendously.
Yeah,
they're not getting the ball in the red zone, so you're talking from the 20 to the goal line.
Right.
Well, you think about this, right? A lot of the times, honestly, you catch the Eagles, they get tackled at like the 5-yard line, 4-yard line, and then they're just going to tush push 2 or 3 plays in a row, right? So like, but this is the thing. I can see some of their critiques and arguments as well. But dude, you're 4-0. You just won the Super Bowl last year? You're the defending Super Bowl champion. You're 4-0. You have one of the best teams in the league. You have one of the most electric players in the league on your offense in Saquon Barkley. You knew he was going to demand 15 to 20 touches a game because that's the type of player he is. So you knew you would take a little bit of a back seat. I mean, and that's what that offense is designed for anyway. It is a power running game. You have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds. Why would you not run with him? He's an effective runner. He can pass the football too. That's the thing. I'm not saying that he's not a good thrower either. But you have an offensive line that is big and built for power run football. Like they can pass block, don't get me wrong, but they're mean, they're nasty. you can run the football down most people's throats. Why would you risk throwing it in interceptions on anything? A fluke, someone jumps a route by luck because they timed it right. The receiver doesn't turn his head around at the right time and it bounces off his hands because he wasn't looking and it goes in the air and someone intercepts it. Like why do that when you can run it for 6, 7, 8 yards a gain every play? If they were losing, if they were 0-4, if they were 1-3, 2-2, something like that, I might would I'd be like, okay, look, that's obviously might be why you're not winning. You're just running the football. You're not getting your good players on the outside of the ball and a chance to impact the game as much, especially in the red zone. But dude, you're 4-0. You beat really good teams. I mean, listen to the teams that they have beat and at 4-0, and you're sitting here trying to complain about your individual statistics.
Chiefs.
You beat the Chiefs, you beat the Rams, and you beat Tampa Bay. That's 3 really good teams that's probably going to be in the playoffs.
That's
I'm going to say
impressive.
all 3 of those teams are probably going to be in the playoffs.
The Chiefs won't be, but okay.
Update: Vikings throw a halfback pass for a touchdown, 20-something yards or 30-something
What?
yards. Yep, 6-7.
Okay.
6-7.
The halfback throws a touchdown pass. Who's their quarterback today?
Carson
McCarthy?
Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz. Okay.
Okay, so they lined up in a wildcat, and the Browns had everybody in the box, and the tight end just got behind them.
Gotcha. So who do we think the Eagles? Did the Eagles deal these guys out or what?
No.
No.
So I don't. Barring just a complete meltdown of a relationship, and I guess
it seems to be the case, bro.
I mean, because this is the thing. Where are you going to trade them to? And then I'm gonna ask this and look at this from both perspectives, right? Let's look at this from the team perspective first, which is most of the time what the team's going to do is team perspective first, and what benefits the team most. So first off, okay, the relationships melt down. Both of them wants out. This is the most catastrophic shit that's ever happened to a team. That both their best receivers wants out. They're gonna let them, right? Boom. Okay. First off, where do you trade them? One, you're not trying to trade them in the NFC, right? You're not trying to have to see them. So you're going to immediately have to go to the AFC. Well, you also have to think, which teams am I probably going to see in the Super Bowl? Don't want to send one of them to the Bills. Don't want to send one to the Chiefs. Don't want to send one to the Bengals. Don't want to send one to the Ravens. So there's 4 teams.
Can't afford them anyway.
There's 4 teams right there out. The 4 best teams, probably the 4 more they would like to go to. So now your options, you're looking, excuse me.
AJ Brown.
Now your options is you're looking at like the Chargers, New England, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Indianapolis, maybe.
Yeah, could you see DK Metcalf and AJ Brown like the 2 biggest bicep receivers in the whole freaking league?
Can I please touch on that? Oh. I could see us if it really becomes to the play, and I'm telling you now, national media has this story. It's a thing. Like, these guys are not happy. They're that locker room's got to be in shit show right now because they're definitely speaking out. Well, it's not that they're being quiet. These guys don't grab a story and run with it for nothing. We have the draft stock to give the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't think we have players to give them. There's no way in hell that we have anybody that they want.
I think a pitch for the Steelers, I think you would be better off with Devonta Smith. I think you need a little bit more of a vertical. I mean, I know AJ Brown can get it in the vertical game. I think Devonta Smith would fit that offense a little better than
either one.
AJ Brown.
I'll take either one, baby.
Yeah.
Either one. You know what I mean?
I think if it was any other year, I think. And I say this confidently because I've seen this happen in the past with Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Odell Beckham Jr. If the Browns were in a little bit of a different situation, I think the Browns would be one of the teams that could make a move like that. Angie Berry is very aggressive in the trade market as far as, we definitely have the draft capital to do it. I just don't think now is the time that they would go and get one of these guys.
We got the cap room all day over here, though.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, too. Like, we got mad money to spend. Yeah. We got draft picks to give up. You know what I mean? And that's what, and as far as I can see, watching us on film right now, like watching the game, because I stare at our offense. I watch them, I don't watch the damn defense. for the other team. But watching them guys run out, Calvin Austin starting to come about. But if we get a solid ass number one to come over and be the number two opposite DK Metcalf, or I don't care who fights over number one, but we get one of them two over there, boy.
Yep.
You want to talk about your air? I better see something out your boy then, Max, because I mean, damn. You give him two dudes that are legitimate like that to throw the ball to.
So
yeah, I better
continuing on, my thoughts with it. The Steelers could be one, but also, you look at it from the Eagles. Do they really want to trade someone, down the street basically to another hometown team? I know you're in different divisions and technically you're not rivals, but we know that both the Eagles and Pittsburgh, Steelers fans don't really like each other.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there though when it comes to getting players, because like we snatched up what's his face that one year, that running back they had. I can't remember. He was running with the bus for a little bit. He was playing with McNabb, but I mean we'll still snatch him up. You know what I'm talking about, Pizzle, little chubby dude.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean, bro. Little light skinned chubby dude. I can't remember his damn name, but you know what I'm talking about. He like we're not like that's when it like so man it's a thing here like yeah when we play each other it's all out war, but I mean if they got something and we got something
side, they don't really have any conflicting things, right?
Yeah, we don't mess like that. I mean shit, we were even the Steagles during World War II, you know what I mean? So just a little history on that,
Good stuff, boys.
But yeah, we'll do some interstate relations if we need to. It's all about them wins.
Then you look at it from, the player's perspective, right? Like those guys are coming off 2 Super Bowl appearances, like the playoffs every year. So now, you're gonna have to. They're gonna probably want to go to a good team, a contender. So like, let's say the Steelers is one of them. But you're like I said, you're not gonna trade them to a legit like straight up contender like a Bills or someone like that. But. So now you got to try to trade them.
60
yards
to
this
the house,
is a major headache.
and there's a fucking penalty flag.
I just don't see it happening.
Pizzle, what?
Damn it! Judkins just ran like a 60-yard touchdown. He's going off, and there's a flag.
What happened?
60 yards, touchdown, and there's a flag.
A pass or a run?
Run.
Oh, that running back's having a day, huh?
Son of a bitch, holding.
Of course.
Two holding penalties.
7 yards a carry right now. That would have bumped it up to about 9 yards a carry.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Damn it. Push him. Don't grab him.
So, speaking about the Browns, I had a little bit of a tidbit on it. Dylan Gabriel is attempting to become the first Browns quarterback since 1999. And just for reference, that's the year I was born.
How about that?
Now, I have a bit about that as well. Keep going.
So he is the first quarterback seeking to become the first quarterback since 1999 to win his opening career start with the Browns. Since 1999, Browns quarterbacks are 0-16, making their first starts while throwing 14 touchdowns and 22 interceptions, leading their teams to an average of 14 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the Browns' 41st starting quarterback since 1999.
And while we're on that, Marley, I was about to say, like, we're getting up into like president's territory. Like,
yeah, they were talking about that on my local radio. You guys are 5 short of presidents
since 1999. Now,
is that the reinception of the Browns back to Cleveland?
Yeah, 99.
Yeah. So I don't want to like stay on it because I know we've talked about it before, and we do cover a lot of this type of information like the off season and during the draft process and everything like that. But what do you think the main factor is that Cleveland has not been able to, like, out of all these quarterbacks, has not even found one that's been like and what I mean is like one that's like a legit starter, like maybe he's not all pro or MVP level, right? But he's like for sure your starting quarterback. Like there's no doubt anytime he's playing, like he's good. He doesn't cost you games. He wins you some games, right? Like, I agree with Marley. It's coaching to an extent. But, like, have y'all just been that like poor at picking coaches and quarterbacks?
So yeah,
Or has
it's
it
been
all
a mixed
coaching
bag of like
ruining
the
quarterbacks,
the
or-
right coach has never lined up with the right quarterback until Baker Mayfield, which I'll leave him aside for a minute. So I just think like it's always become like a push and pull where like the GM had too much power picking versus like giving a fit to the right quarterback and coach. And it's just been too much of a mix to where like the offense would have been good if they would have drafted this quarterback versus, you know, the flashy pick like Manziel. You know,
Look where he ended up.
It's very hard to explain, but there's really no other reason. That just comes down to just like talent evaluation and coaching. And I'm gonna go back to Baker Mayfield. Like we knew what Baker Mayfield was. We had his back when he was good, and in the end, we felt the Browns at the time, and this is what everybody forgets. We were in a position to where if we just got one touch above Baker Mayfield, which is what we were going to get in Deshaun Watson, we would have been Super Bowl contenders. The team was ready. Baker could just not be the quarterback to take them to the next level. Now, if we would have kept him, yeah, maybe we would have had, you know, consistency and an opportunity and a chance every year. But he just wasn't able to beat the Mahomes and beat, you know, Josh Allen and beat, you know, even Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, he was the quarterback that was actually, for the first time in a long time in Cleveland, he was the quarterback that was able to at least keep up with those teams.
Exactly. You were keeping up. In this division, bro, that's sometimes you have to accept that as good enough for the time being. You know, like you're keeping up inside the division. You're able to make the playoffs. Like what was the issue with that?
And then people forget they want to
say that Deshaun Watson, who hadn't played in how many years, was a step above Baker Mayfield, who was already in your offense for how many seasons
at the time,
and playing at a pretty decent level. Why would Deshaun Watson, who has legal, like that debacle to this day will never make sense to me. And look what Baker's doing down in the Buccaneers. Granted, they're not going to the Super Bowl down there. I mean,
everybody wants to circle back and say it's easy to say, "Oh, look what the Browns got rid of." But he also went through Carolina and he went through the Rams.
But Carolina sucked
because he had. They also had Sam
Carolina
Darnold too, though. But it's just easy to go circle back to the Browns rather than Carolina.
Carolina's coaching was no better than the Browns. That's the problem. And then on the Rams, you had Matt Stafford come in.
Right.
Whatever the fuck.
So he wasn't going to stay there anyway.
Like, of course. What's that?
He wasn't going to stay there anyway, which is why the Rams.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, they knew he wasn't going to be their starter, and that's fine. But the Buccaneers needed a starting quarterback, and Baker showed that all his years, even with all the shitty coaching that he went through, that he could still be a starting quarterback in the NFL. The Panthers are just a shambles. They have been for years. They haven't been good since Cam Newton, and they won't ever be again. Like they're still a wash this season with even Bryce Young and all that. It's amazing down there. Like they can't win. Yeah.
But the thing is, like they're still sticking out with him. They're not changing quarterbacks every year. You know, Carolina. Right now, at least.
I mean, we're gonna see who's the starting quarterback come the end of the season for the Browns. You really think we're gonna get a chance to see Sanders?
At some point, yeah. And that's the thing. Like they went into this season drafting these quarterbacks with still discussion.
42 starting quarterbacks, buddy.
At either using
42.
Either using one of the first round picks that they have next year between the Jags, which actually look pretty good this year, even though the Browns got a good players from that Jags pick, that they're possibly going to draft a quarterback for next year.
Max.
Yes.
Max.
Yes.
How many quarterbacks have the Packers had since 1999?
So are we? What's the?
You can't compare that because it's not like the Browns had a Hall of Fame quarterback and got rid of them and then went to shit after that. Like you can't compare the Packers.
Here's what I'm saying though. Here's what I'm saying. and I'm going to do the same thing with the Steelers. Like we've had a few.
Yeah, and I
You
hate
know,
to say
but
it, I'm starting to poke the bear with that too, with the Steelers, because they're starting to trend towards having a new quarterback every year. Like they're not going to keep Rodgers consistently. What are they going to do next season? I mean, you're worried about that next
here's
season,
the
though.
thing.
You're worried about
That's
that
a
next
little
season.
tidbit too, because there's hints that Rodgers is talking about coming back next year because if we do well, we go to the playoffs. If things get like just the way the division's looking right now, if everybody can stay healthy, we've got one hell of a chance to win this division. So if there's talk that he's going to be coming back, and if we get him another weapon on the other side, opposite DK Metcalf or Calvin Austin or whoever one of these guys can finally pull their head out of their ass and become like a legit number two, then we got one hell of a team. Because I mean, I'm not really that impressed with Aaron Rodgers as of yet, but he's doing a hell of a lot better than Kenny Pickett was.
Max, I know you have the tidbit on the Steelers quarterbacks that played last year, or what, 0-6 combined. But also last season, the Steelers quarterbacks, had 10 wins. So like, imagine Aaron Rodgers having a good season this year. He could be in a situation where the Browns were, where they just have the decent enough quarterback that can put them over the top.
What I'm saying is, why are you going to put in, like, I asked you the question, I asked you that question about Sanders for a reason, because now you're going to tell me that, okay, so Flacco wasn't it. So it's funny as hell to me that you guys draft these two quarterbacks and then you bring in Flacco, who's older than dirt, put him in, the man gets whopped, and then now you're starting these young kids, and now you're going to tell me you're going to give Gabriel what? 2-3 games, then you're going to bench him.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. They brought Flacco in as a security net. They were really banking. Listen, give me a chance to talk. They were banking on Kenny Pickett to start this season, and he got hurt.
You guys were dead ass banking on Kenny Pickett to start your season.
Yeah, and I could guarantee if Kenny Pickett started the season, the Browns would be 2-2 at least, if not 3-1.
Can I get in here now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so my thoughts on the whole situation is
Yep, go ahead.
This is the well, I've just been listening to y'all. Y'all know how we get sometimes. We'll get in a good conversation. So I'm just sitting here listening the best I can to where I can like fit in my arguments or fit in the main points I kind of want to talk about or bring back up. But this is the thing about it, right? Like you brought in Kenny Pickett, you had Joe Flacco, you drafted Gabriel and Shador, right? Just two young quarterbacks to have on the roster.
Yep. No matter what, the quarterback room got better than last season.
No matter what, it got a little better. It got deeper. You've got some talent. And this was the thing, right? Like everyone knew, barring just a crazy training camp, preseason, whatever, neither one of those rookies were going to start. One of them probably, honestly, most people thought until the Pickett injury, one of them was going to get cut and go to practice squad, most likely. The other was going to be QB3, and then it was going to be Pickett or Flacco, QB1, vice versa at QB2.
Yes.
That's how it was going to be. Because the Browns knew, just like everyone else knew, they have a really good defense. They have a very good defense. All they need is the offense to not just be a broke-down Honda 1997 Honda Civic, right? They just need it to be a 2008 Subaru. That's all it needs to be. It can't be a beat-up 97 Civic, though. It got to be at least a Subaru. It's got to at least be able to get from A to B without breaking down too many times.
That is true.
That's what they needed. So that's what Pickett or Flacco could give you theoretically. They're both, and especially Joe Flacco, I mean, like you said, he's old as dirt, have plenty of starting experience.
And I'm not saying Pickett would have been a Super Bowl quarterback and would have, threw for 4,000 yards, but he would have fit this offense to where the Browns could have been at least in a good position to have a chance to win games.
He could be what he was almost 15 years ago for the Ravens, is a solid game manager that relies on the defense to win you games. Now, like I said, with Kenny Pickett, he had multiple starting experience. He's a solid quarterback that, yes, if he makes mistakes, it's going to fucking hurt you. But if he's just solid, and your defense does what it needs to do, you're going to be in every game, because that's what elite defenses do. They keep you in games, even if your offense can kind of not just sputter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the thing, too, though, Marley, that I'm going to bring up your point to where you're like, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, yada, yada. what really other options did they have? I mean, Deshaun
Why don't
Watson,
you
they
just
tried
develop
that
Gabriel and just
experience.
why don't you just okay, we drafted you, kiddo. It happens all the time in the NFL. Gabriel or Sanders, one of y'all better start rocking it up for number 2
Because
or
they weren't
number 1.
drafted in the first round.
Well, because this was the
So
thing, right?
what?
They
So what?
they drafted both of them knowing they were gonna be projectable quarterbacks,
Right.
right?
And the team,
Because when they both were coming out, I mean, neither one of them were
What are
like a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes with a rocket arm. They wasn't like a Lamar Jackson who was, can
what
run
the
all over
hell
the
are they
play.
learning from though?
and then
A
what
Joe
does, that, what does that
Flacco.
say to the Browns defense? Like, this team is ready to have a veteran quarterback to come in and step up and be the quarterback. Like, this team is not ready to develop a rookie quarterback. Like, they are ready to have that veteran quarterback to come in and help them win football games. That's where the defense is at, and that's what that's a statement
You mean to
from
tell
Myles
me?
Garrett. That
You
he's
mean to
not
tell
going to
me?
sit here and he doesn't want to sit here and watch a rookie quarterback develop. This team is ready to win now.
And I
Do you mean
agree.
to tell me? Do you mean to tell me Dylan Gabriel isn't capable enough to hand the ball off, and when he needs to on a short 3rd and 5 or something like that, dink the ball off to one of your tight ends or one of your receivers and
Well,
keep the game safe?
it's easy to say that now.
He is, but this is the thing, Marley. You know as good as I do. That's not always the case. You're going to get in games where that he's going to have to throw 30, 40 times a game because it's a shootout. You're going to get in the games where he's going to have to make 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8s,
Well,
fourth and 6, 4th and 7 throws. He's going to have games where it's going to be less than 2 minutes and he's got to go drive down for either a game time or winning field goal or touchdown, whatever it may be.
Not to
The
mention the Browns'
Browns
first
didn't
6
draft
games.
him. The Browns didn't draft them with the thought process like any teams did with Jordan Love or they did with Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar. This wasn't a he's really, really good. We think he's going to be really good, but we're going to let him sit to protect him, let him adjust to the NFL defensives and schemes, and we'll start him the next year. That was the plan for Mahomes. Yeah, as you see, he sat for a year. Jordan Love, he sat for 3 years. You look at Lamar. Lamar sat for what, 3, 4 games, something like that, before he took over for Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
So it was never that they had specific plans because all those teams individually were in a spot to where they didn't need a quarterback at that exact moment. I mean, we had Aaron Rodgers who went on to win 2 MVPs after we drafted Jordan Love. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they had Alex Smith, who we all know was a very solid quarterback. He wasn't like MVP type or nothing, but he was in Andy Reid's system.
Yeah.
He was good enough. The Ravens had Joe Flacco. Granted, it's kind of same thing as Alex Smith, was starting to get up there in age, physical ability starting to decline a little bit. We got this kid that's a freak. Let's see what we can do with him. The Browns didn't draft Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders as these kids just need a year, maybe half a season, and we think they can be fine and start immediately and take over a game. That wasn't what they drafted them for. They drafted them because they needed depth and cheap depth at that. Because I don't know if you know, quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, they aren't very cheap, especially solid ones. So you get Pickett, pretty good deal. Again, a lot of starting experience. You got Joe Flacco, way a lot of experience. Good for both contracts. Because your mind, just like MP's mind and a lot of other teams' mind, is our defense is legit. We know it's legit. We've seen flashes of the offense being solid with Flacco at quarterback. We've seen flashes of Kenny Pickett being a solid quarterback and being able to lead the team down there for a field goal or a touchdown and not cost his team a game every other play. So we just need these 2 guys to be, like I said, 2008 Subaru, just get us from point A to point B as consistent as you can and let the defense handle the rest.
Right.
Here, one little tidbit.
But now you're in a situation though where you're having to start one of the rookies, which you didn't want to do, and that's because Pickett got hurt, and that's because Flacco's playing like crap. So now you've got to start one of the rookies, and if this one doesn't work after 3 or 4 games, it depends on how he looks in those 3 or 4 games. If he just looks like he's seeing ghosts, interceptions left and right, can't read the defense, fumbling, taking bad sacks, then yeah, you've got to yank him. I mean, that's just what you've got to do. And then depending on what your record is, if you're already too far out to really make a difference, then you just put Flacco back in there and you just rock with it the rest of the season and try to search for a quarterback. But if you're still, because of your defense, 500, around 500, still in the hunt, then you don't just throw Flacco back in
That's
there.
true.
That's when you search around the league and try to find a quarterback. I bet you could get Russell Wilson for pretty cheap right now. I bet you could get Jameis Winston for pretty cheap right now. I mean, Russell Wilson honestly would probably would be a lot better option than any quarterback that the Browns have currently on the roster.
They were also trying to look at the future and also the present because they were not going to be able to go out and get Kirk Cousins because of the Watson contract. They had to get cheap rookies on a deal to where they can probably try to develop them and hope that they get hit a lottery pick. And not to mention, I hate to say this, Marley, real quick.
These guys are practicing against probably the best defense in the league right now.
Yeah, so they're learning a lot. Yeah, of course. My thing is, and I hate to say this, I know it's the National Football League, so when it's your time to play, it's your time to play. They weren't going to go out and put a rookie quarterback against the Bengals at home, the Ravens on the road, the Lions, the Vikings in an international game, and then the Steelers on the road. You're talking about like the first 6 games are like, it's one of the worst possible schedules that the Browns could have had. Yeah, it's your schedule, you got to play it, but they weren't going to put a rookie quarterback in that position.
I see what you're saying though, Marley, 1,000%. But I mean, this is the same aspect though. Who's the Steelers' backup quarterback right now?
Fucking Mason Rudolph, and I'd be okay with that.
Well, again, let's look at some of the differences. One, Mason Rudolph has been with the Steelers now for what, like 5-6 years, something like that.
We went to the Titans for a season or two, but yeah.
But basically, yeah. But basically, he's been with Mike Tomlin and that team and that culture, most of those players for a while. He has, like I said, a good bit of starting experience just from taking over for Big Ben and whoever else was hurt or injured, and then even for that spell where people thought he might be the next starting quarterback of the Steelers. So you look at the situation of the Browns, right? You've got 2 rookies. Like I said, one you're about to start. If it doesn't work out, then it depends on what your record is, right? So you have to go and make a play from there. Like I said, if you're still in the hunt, you're still chasing the playoffs. Then if Gabriel's just playing just super terrible, then like I said, that's when I would recommend, and I'm sure other people would recommend. I'm sure even MPs would agree to me. Now it just depends on whether the coaches and the GMs can make it happen, or whether they want to do it or think a change is needed. But you go get, like I said, a Russell Wilson for like a 4th round pick, a 3rd round pick, a 5th round pick for, half a season at like maybe the league minimum or whatever to try to get you to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to tell you, each season that you waste is a season that you're taking a step back from getting to the Super Bowl picture. Most of the times when you don't have a franchise quarterback. The Browns, I hate to say it, there's no franchise quarterback coming to save them in the near future right now. Right. You look at this upcoming quarterback class, it's trash, honestly. Like it was hyped up to be, it might be one of the best. When I knew better, I knew just because how much I watch college football. Like, unless all of these guys have made tremendous strides, there's no way. And none of them have. And the quarterback class is like, there's literally no quarterback that should be drafted in the top 10, in my opinion.
Not to mention, we have Watson under contract one more season after this year.
One of the worst quarterback classes ever.
We have Deshaun Watson under contract for one more season after this year too.
Yes. So, and this is my thing. So, what if you're the Browns? You there's no, unless one just requests a trade out of nowhere, and good luck on that because of how your last trade for a quarterback went. Who are you going to get to be your quarterback? Like I said, there's not one in the draft. So you're looking at potentially signing one in the offseason. And the only ones I can really think of is you're looking at like maybe a Geno Smith if he gets out from the Raiders, but I'm pretty sure he signed a 2-year deal. Aaron Rodgers maybe, but if he wants to play again, I would assume he goes back to Pittsburgh.
Right.
You look, let's see, Justin Fields, I think, signed a 1-year deal.
Yep.
Maybe. Do you want to bring him back to Cleveland and with his running ability and how much more they can do that, being as they haven't had a lot of luck passing? Maybe that could be an option. You've got Daniel Jones, who's on the Colts. I mean, you know, I guess it depends on
That
how
man's gonna
his
get paid
season
either way,
goes,
though.
right?
No matter where he
That
goes.
dude's
Um,
gonna get paid.
So
Yeah,
like
that
I
dude's
said,
gonna get
there's
paid.
just no just very just like, oh yeah, that dude's gonna be a complete stud for us quarterback option out there for them
Right.
for the next basically year or 2 seasons.
Exactly.
So they've got to work with what they got to work with while trying to be competitive. So I that's all I want to get to, you know,
Yeah.
because I know we've done spent a lot
No, I
of time
appreciate
on
it.
this
It's a great
topic.
show. Show,
But
Chris.
you know, that's where I'm at with it of terms of you've got to see what Gabriel's got, and if he doesn't look bad, like I said, if he's decent and you're losing, then that's I mean, what is it then? Is it on him per se, or is it on other factors as well? But like I said, if he looks like a deer in headlights, man, he's throwing bad balls, he's not reading the defense well, he's taking bad sacks, the offense is just sputtering left and right, then yeah, you can't keep him out there. You know what I'm saying?
And-
It's not good for his development. It's not good for his confidence. It's not good for the team. That's gonna piss people off, like Miles Garrett again, who has very strongly emphasized multiple times over the past few years how he is not waiting on a winner. He wants to win right now, and he is not going to waste his career on a loser. He has said that. Now, maybe not like that harsh, but that's his faults.
Marlon, I know you're
The Browns
shaking
are going to have
head,
to do what they need to do.
Just to conclude this segment before we move on to our game picks, that's my reality right now that I'm living, Marley. That's just the way it has to be.
I'm just saying.
There's no other way about
Just
it.
saying. Just I don't know.
I know.
Y'all should have went about this differently, but
I know.
yeah. What's the
Hey,
score?
look, you
Yeah.
know, it's
I'll get to that in
it's
a
tough
minute.
out there, Marley. You know, they made a trade for Deshaun Watson, who at the time, yeah, the allegations were out there. It was a little crazy, but talent wise, he was a top 5 quarterback when he last played. I mean, he was a phenomenal athlete. He was a phenomenal quarterback. It completely was a catastrophic failure. It happened. You know, we don't need to rub on it too much and fuck with them. You know,
I'm way past Deshaun Watson's ass,
you know,
bro.
it happens, you know, but like I said, they've been in a stuck in a tight spot with not having draft picks because of that trade, while also not having cap space because of that trade, which put them in the situation to where you can't get a quarterback, right? Because you can't afford one in the free agent market because you're paying $40 million a year to Deshaun. And now you don't have picks high enough to get a quarterback worth taking that could be your, starting quarterback per se. So yeah, I mean, they did it to themselves. They did. I mean, they shot themselves in the foot with that. But then again, you think about it at the time, you take away the allegations, right? Let's just say you take away all the off the field stuff. Nobody would have said anything about that trade other than, holy shit, I can't believe the Browns got a top 5 quarterback.
And I have to say this
That
now
would've
too.
been-
Like
that-
looking at the Texans side, I know everybody wanted to put them on a pedestal and saying the Browns the Texans absolutely destroyed the Browns with this trade, and they got all these players. They're 1-3. You know, they've won a playoff game or two.
Stroud
It's not
sucked.
easy. It's not easy being successful in the NFL. Like I know, like the Patriots and like the Chiefs kind of twist people's minds and things. But don't get me wrong, there are franchises out there though that are better and more consistent than others. I mean, I don't like I ain't trying to say this to be in a bad way, but you look at mine and Pizzle's teams, for example. If you want to go off a minimum of like 10 games started, 5 games started in a row, whatever, just to kind of go off of stuff, because I seen a list the other day. The Browns have like 20 quarterbacks that's played more than 10 games since the Packers, who's had 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, just saying, just to show, not to down anybody, but just saying how different the league
Perspective.
can be.
Yeah.
I've only seen three quarterbacks in my lifetime that's been like legit the full-time starters. Pizzle's seen a lot. That shows how not easy it is,
41.
how lucky some teams get, as well as, because think about it for real. Yes, their skill evolved, but we didn't draft Brett Favre. We traded for him after half a season or whatever with the Falcons because we needed a quarterback, and he turned into a Hall of Famer.
Some of them have been
We took a
injuries
gamble.
too, though, Marley.
We
Injuries.
drafted Rodgers.
Injuries.
I
we
get that
drafted
part.
Rodgers. And so,
Like I get that part
so,
too. I get the injury shit that has to happen, and the quarterbacks get hurt, and then you have to replace them. But at the end, so barring injury, how many? That's the other number then. So if you want to bring that shit up,
Oh,
so
we're still
barring
in the
injury,
20s.
how many?
Yeah, we're still at least in the 20s.
Yeah,
I get
exactly,
it.
dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what there's you cannot win like this, man. I am sorry, bro,
No.
but you guys cannot stick with anybody more than, like, it's just been said. more than 10 games, you fuckers pulled your quarterback and just bench his ass.
Well,
And it's
this
like,
well,
at what point does this fucker get a
Well,
chance to run a full season?
Flacco, yeah.
well,
that's
to be fair as well, most of the quarterbacks that it's not like they yanked them after 2 games. A good bit of them got significant playing time. It's just you can tell, Marley, you know as good as I do. You could tell most times after
10 games.
8 to 10
Eight
games,
games, yeah.
how good this quarterback's going to be at that time. And like I said, most coaches are in win now mode. Are you going to wait on this 20-year-old quarterback and hopefully he turns into something when you got a 4-year contract and your ass is on the line?
But here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. And the exact polar opposite is, okay, so you're not willing to wait on to develop a kid that's going to play underneath your system for a year, a solid season. Give the kid 16 games or whatever the hell the season is, all the games.
Right.
I don't care if you start him in the preseason, start him the whole damn season. All right. And then go back into training camp with him and develop his ass from the offseason. And then go back into the regular season with this kid. Instead of doing that and hoping and praying this kid, which you can develop on your own. Nope. What we're going to do, we're going to go right back to the drawing board and get somebody who's not proven once again, has not played in my system. Now we're going to have a new coach, new offensive coordinator. The whole damn team is all brand fucking new.
Because
and then
they
you guys
had
think you're going to win.
Flacco, who was already in the system, and they were kind of banking on him being the security blanket and security net for this season. Like I said, it circles back to this team was not ready to start a rookie and evaluate a rookie quarterback for a whole season. That's what it circles back to. I'm sorry.
Guys have never done this shit. It's a problem. That's why you've had 40 fucking one and 20. Some of them have been just old and just done for. Like stick a fork in your ass. You lost 3 games. You're done. You're out of here.
Well, this is it. This is they're getting another 2-year security blanket because they're not putting it on the coaching staff with the Watson thing. Once that's done, that's when we can really get down the business and say, all right, this coaching staff and GM is just not working out. Now they did draft some good rookies this season. So they're in a step in the right direction.
So you're talking about in 2 years, right?
Yep.
So Myles Garrett only signed 3 years, right?
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, he has 1 year left. What's he going to do to you then? Is he going to rake your ass over the coals for more money, or is he going to leave?
He'll leave.
Oh no, so that'll be the end of Deshaun Watson. Like he won't ever sign another contract or play another down football.
Deshaun Watson. That motherfucker ain't even on my radar anymore. I'm talking about the present day situation. Myles Garrett. That man said, I'm out. And then you guys paid his ass, gave him a big old 3-year deal. He got the most money for any whatever the hell quarterback bullshit in the league until everybody else decided to run up his ass. And then now he's gonna play. So actually, that'll be the end of his fucking contract because this is the year 1. He has 2 more to go after this. So then what? So the end of his contract, he's gone. Now your defense probably drops off substantially because his ass ain't there no more.
That would be a situation.
So then now you go from having a top 3 defense probably every season to having probably maybe, if you're fucking lucky, middle of the road. And then now you're going to have a rookie quarterback coming in. Granted, he sat on the bench for 2 years and developed, but whoop-de-fucking do.
Yeah.
Marley, that would get to the point to where then the Browns would be blowing it up and starting over, right?
Again, again, bro.
Marley, this is the thing, though. This is what I'm trying to tell you, though. Half the league has been like that for the last 10 years. Think of the Jaguars. Think of the Panthers. Think of the Jets.
Yeah, because you know what the difference between the Jaguars is? You know what the difference between the Jaguars and the Panthers? Trevor Lawrence has been their quarterback for how many years?
And they're still riding with him. Yeah.
And they're still riding with him.
Well,
this is what no one
year, they got a new coach finally, so this might be it for one of those two.
I don't care how much they still stick with the kid because he just why fuck up the why? It makes 0 sense to bring in a rookie. It means 0 sense to bring in a veteran. It's never fucking played on it because you still got to get used to all this shit. You want to give somebody 3 months in a training camp that isn't actual gameplay. You want to give them what, a fucking half a preseason game against. Okay, yeah, we're really doing a whole fucking lot there. So yeah, then you want them to go into week 1 and ask them to come out and damn near win every fucking game. No, that's the thing. The Jaguars, as much as they're they get new players, they try to run through, they try to make changes and all that. At the end of the day, it's still been Trevor Lawrence under the center. That is the fucking key. That is the key. No matter how bad your team is.
You have to say we have to move on from this quarterback or not because the Browns don't have Trevor Lawrence.
But the Browns, We're gonna keep circling back. The Browns have had.
We are going to eventually have to move on. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just saying, like, we are going to get to game picks here coming up. But at the same time, like, it's just, it is what it is, Marley.
You guys have had talented quarterbacks under the helm, and you've literally just said, "Fuck it, we're out."
You just didn't give them a chance. The front office did, because this team's ready to win now. It's just a matter of finding the right one.
Fucking everybody's ready to win now. Damn it. You know what I mean? Like that's the. Of course you are. Like everybody wants to go to the Super Bowl every season, but realistically, sometimes you just got to sit down, count your beans, and say, "Here's where we are right now. We got a hell of a quarterback. He's not a hell of a quarterback right now, but if we give this kid a chance, we give this kid an offensive coordinator and a head coach for 2 or 3 seasons. Can we please just stick together?
Yeah.
Everybody, shut the fuck up. Quit asking for money. Quit bitching about this. Quit just shut the hell up." Dude, the Browns, bro, I was worried about y'all for a little while. Not so much.
Now, say, you know what I mean? Say one of these quarterbacks does work out. I mean, maybe now at this point with Watson's contract running out, they might be able to. But, like, say they had a quarterback, like a rookie quarterback last year, they wouldn't have been able to pay him for an extension because of Watson's contract. That's what it all circles back to. It sucks.
Just saying, too, you know, Marley, the Steelers necessarily the last few years haven't been trying to give people a chance. I mean, you shift off Kenny Pickett after 2 seasons. And you brought in Justin Fields. You shift him off after a year, and then now you bring in Aaron Rodgers. So, like, what if he either retires or doesn't come back? Now you're on your 4th quarterback in 4 seasons. You know, so
that is a big piss me off.
Yeah,
because I am not used to this. I am used to, like, the '90s were like this, man, and that's when we were okay in the '90s, but when we got Ben is when we actually won. Because we had a starting every fucking year.
It's also just because the league is just a win now. And you've got to understand also that most of the time coaches don't have any say on who the personnel are in terms of the players. They don't get a say on who they are. They just got to coach them and develop them and play them. Now, you have some teams that are really good, that have good, you know, quality, connections where they talk to each other, where they game plan with each other, when they make decisions with each other. But there's a lot of times, dude, where the coach has no idea what's going on. Team drafts a quarterback and they're like, "Hey, here's your new quarterback, by the way." And so now they're stuck with this guy they may have never even wanted. And now they've got to try to develop them. And let's say you've got a 4-year contract, right? 3-year contract. You didn't have a good season the year before. Well, now you've got this quarterback you never wanted, you didn't know nothing about. Now you've got to try to develop him and hope that he saves your job or can keep winning so where you don't get fired.
Right.
Most coaches, like I said, once that quarterback starts playing like crap, he isn't showing signs of improvement, they're losing, his seat starts getting hotter, they're going to make a change to try to protect their own job.
Or the court of public opinion is going to force that too. With social media now.
So hold on, back to fucking
turn. Marley.
The fucking Steelers should have never fucking pulled Justin Fields after he lost that game. I don't give a fuck. Russell Wilson was back. That prick hadn't played in how long? He wasn't going to be Justin Fields. He wasn't young enough. Didn't have enough mobility. That bullshit. He was pushing a sled in training camp and got hurt. Get the hell out of here. Okay, what the hell was he doing that first anyway? That just shows bad coaching to begin with. The fuck is a quarterback pushing a fucking sled for? Stupid. Any which way. They shouldn't have pulled Justin. They should have stuck with that.
You're right.
Russell Wilson should have sat the hell down and shut the hell up, and you both should have rode out your 1 fucking year. And I guaranteed you, if Mike Tomlin would have just been able to develop Justin Fields over that season with that defense, would have signed another fucking year, we wouldn't have had to deal with this Aaron Rodgers shit off season long. And now I hated him coming in here because I did not want to see the quarterback carousel that the fucking Browns live under, because you know why? They don't go to the fucking playoffs. They barely fucking win. We are lucky that we have a top 5 defense this year. We are a turnover machine. You imagine Justin Fields with this fucking defense right now? I know he's 0-4 or whatever the hell up in the Jets because they just fucking suck.
Yeah, well,
their coaching is not that great.
You got to be happy about being 3-1. Still happy about it. You got to still be happy about being 3-1, especially in a depleted AFC North. Like you're you control your own destiny. You're gifted the AFC North right now, so far.
And I understand that, but my whole thing is like.
But now next year,
to be honest, Aaron Rodgers hasn't impressed me that much to meet for. Justin Fields did quite well for me last year. I was happy with that kid. Russell Wilson came in and shit the fucking bed.
Yep.
They didn't even pull him to get us through the playoffs. Like, come on, man. You know, that Fields come out and played very well underneath our system.
Completely
he ran the ball
last year. Yeah. You were not
Huh?
happy. The team completely derailed last year. You guys were what, 10 and
because
3?
fucking Russell Wilson fucking sucks. And now you're seeing now everybody's fucking seeing it on the Giants. His ass just got yanked over a fucking rookie.
Right.
You get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? And that's why I was so fucking mad last year because Max, and like that's the point. I don't like seeing the quarterback carousel in this fucking team. We don't do this shit here. That's what Cowher did in the 90s. Fucking Bubby Brister and shit. Fuck out of here. Cordell Stewart. Tommy Maddox. Blah, fucking get the hell out of my face. You know, these guys lasted 3 or 4 years, come out and blah, 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 barely, whatever. But any which fucking way. After Ben, no, we don't want to see the whole, let's go try this guy, let's go try that guy. No, 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 no. You sign these guys, and you sign them for 1 year. They see what to do. Justin Fields went 4-1. 4-1 with a damn good defense. And you yank him for fucking Russell Wilson, who does what? Comes in and wins a few fucking games, and in the last game of the season, the stretch of the season where we need your ass the most, you come out and totally shit the fucking bed. And then we go to the playoffs, thank the Lord, and then your ass gets mollywopped.
Update.
Nope.
Browns 2-minute offense is out, coming up with a 2-minute warning. It became a chess match after the fast start. It's still 7-7.
Let's go. Yeah, and now we're stuck with Aaron Rodgers. So what's he gonna do? He's almost my age, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like now what are we gonna do? Are we gonna yeah, you just said it, Pizzle. Yes, the division is in our hands right now. Because even I said before, even if Mason Rudolph has to come in and start at quarterback, I think we'll be just fine. Because he'll be okay. He'll manage our offense. He'll make some throws. Our defense is stellar right now. So we're fine. We'll make the playoffs very easily. We'll probably win the damn division. But next year, now what the hell do we do?
Right.
Do we start Will Howard?
You have to think about
I
that
hope
too.
so, because I haven't seen his ass yet either. And I wanted to see him more than anything. Like, why not just put him in? You know? That's rough.
Well, because then I think
Play
at
the
this
rookie.
point, like especially if you have Aaron Rodgers sitting on the bench, that just creates a very toxic locker room and media, and Yins don't need that right now.
But don't bring him in. Don't bring him in.
Right, that's
If
what
you
they did.
draft Will Howard, hey Will, we know you're a starting rookie quarterback. We're just gonna let it ride, though, brother. We got one hell of a defense. We've got a decent run game. The receiving rooms, you know what I mean. Offensive line is about a C+ right now. They need to get their shit together.
Which is why they continued to play Deshaun Watson, even though he wasn't it either. They had to play him because not only did they pay him, I know they didn't pay Aaron Rodgers that money like they did Deshaun Watson, but that's they were forced their hand. Once they signed him, they were forced their hand, just like the Steelers were with Rodgers. Good stuff, boys. Let's make some game picks, huh? Hour into the show, I love it. Love to see it.
Like that just went down, fellas, and probably the best segment in Peace of Mind history right there.
Ready to make some picks, boys? Let's get there.
Indeed.
Might be able to watch the second half of the game. I love it. Let's go. Starting with the Thursday night game, we have not been it with Thursday night picks. I'll have to go back sometime and get our, I like to evaluate some part during the season what our Thursday night picks were versus the 1 o'clock picks, 4 o'clock picks. We all took the Rams. 49ers come away 26-23 victory in LA, which was a very San Francisco home crowd. There was like 90% 49ers fans at that stadium.
Wow.
49ers come away with the win, so we all start off at 0-1.
Man, I woke up to them kicking the winning field goal. I was like, wow, you bastards. Okay, back to sleep.
Getting to the London pick, of course, like I said, you guys both took the Browns, currently at 7-7 at the 2-minute warning. So we will move on to the 1 o'clock games. Starting with the 1-3 Texans. Pretty much a wash. Pick 'em. 1.5 point favorites on the road. Taking on the 1-3 Cooper Rush led Baltimore Ravens. Over under 40.5. One of these two teams is going to fall to 1-4 after today. Marley.
Even though the Ratbirds are down on Lamar Jackson, at the end of the day, it's still Cooper Rush who's been in that system for a while. They still have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they're going to give him the ball like 50 times today.
in a Raven. Yeah, he's going to see the Rock a lot with a good Raven defense that's still able to make you iffy. I don't think that. I don't think they can put up. I don't think Stroud and them can put up 30 points against the Ravens. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at home.
Now, I will say, I know as bad as the Texans' offense has been, it's been kind of modeling the Browns, where like even though their offense is bad, the Texans actually have the number 1 ranked stat defense in the NFL.
Yeah,
this is going to be like a 10-3 game. I really like the under, even though the over is favored in this game. I like the under. I'm going with the Ravens as well, just because I like the Ravens at home. Max,
Not so fast, my friend. So, I am actually going with the Texans today.
Ooh.
And the reason I'm going to go with the Texans today is because, like you just said, there, Pizzle, they have the best points per game defense in the NFL right now. They've only allowed 51 points through their games this season, through 4 games. That's about 12.8 per game. That's the fewest in the NFL.
Ooh.
Cooper Rush has a 9-5 record as a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, how about that?
But this is his first Ravens start.
Yep.
Of his career. And like I said, this offense isn't built for him. It is built for Lamar Jackson and his athletic ability. So they're going to have to strip it down basically from a Lamborghini to that Subaru and hope that Cooper Rush can manage the game.
Mhm.
Now, they do still have Derrick Henry. Like you said, Derrick Henry's going to get his 20, 30 touches a game no matter what. Now he's probably going to get more. But that's also a bad thing because, like you said, the Texans have one of the best defenses in the league. Cooper Rush isn't really a great quarterback. So now you just got to shut down Derrick Henry. You shut down the run game, force them to make Cooper Rush throw the ball 20, 30 times a game, puts you in a good position to win this game. And plus, the Texans still have their quarterback. I know the offense has been pretty bad for the Texans. I know CJ Stroud hasn't been good, but he's still a young quarterback. He still showed a lot of flash. That team on offense, they could come out and do something. I mean, you look at this, the Ravens defense is terrible right now. I mean, look at the matchup. You've got
That's more shocking in itself.
you've got a decent, all right offense that's still trying to figure themselves out, but they have their quarterback who's been their quarterback versus a very terrible defense.
Mhm.
And then you've got a team that's struggling on all. That's not, I wouldn't say struggling on offense, but missing their MVP quarterback who makes that engine run. You have a guy who's never started for this team before coming in versus one of the best defenses in the NFL that's allowed the fewest points in the NFL up to this point. It just doesn't bode well for me for the Ravens now because, like I said, they got terrible defense. That can be motivation for the Texans. That could be plus for the Texans. You know what I mean? That could be some hope that they need to get better and get that offense back on track. So, not staying too long on it. Give me the Texans here on the road. I just like I said, I like the defense a lot better. I like the offense continuity that they have over the Ravens right now. Ravens just look bad, man. So give me the Texans.
1-3 Giants on the road, getting that rookie spark from Jackson Dart as he made his first start last week, beating the Chargers. On the road in New Orleans, take on the 0-4 Saints. Saints probably in competition of being the worst team in the NFL. Saints are favored 1.5 points, so it's pretty much a pick 'em game. I'm going with the Giants. Marley?
Give me the Giants, bro. Just because the Saints are like, oh wait, no, swap that. Give me the Saints. They're at home. They're 0-4.
All right.
They gotta win one, bro. They gotta win one.
Max, how bad is it down there in Louisiana for Saints fans?
Man, I mean, it's they're down bad, but before Drew Brees got here, they're used to this. You know what I mean? They're used to being bad. They're used to being terrible. I mean, they're used to nothing but pain every Sunday. So I mean, they're built for this.
They used to be a bad team before Drew
But it
Brees.
still sucks for them. It still sucks for them, dude, though, because Louisiana fans, dude, we're give props to everybody. Everyone's got their uniqueness, but we're truly built different down here when it comes to rooting for our teams that we support. The Saints, no matter how bad they are, how good they are, that Superdome is always filled. It's always loud. New Orleans is always bumping. Louisiana's always bumping. Everyone's talking about the Saints on Saturday and Sunday. Everyone's wearing their Saints gear and jerseys. Like, I mean, it means a lot here, you know. So like, they want to see this team do good and do well because it means a lot to the city and the state. But they're just in a bad spot, man. You know, they you know, from GMs to ownership, you know, they ain't in a good spot. But I'm gonna take the Saints here at home as well.
Wow.
The Giants, you know, like I said, rookie quarterback Jackson Dart last week looked pretty solid. I think he, you know, that helps definitely build up a little bit of his confidence and everything. But you know, he was at home. Now you're on the road. You've got, you know, your first true road start in one of the toughest environments. I know the Saints are 0-4, but that Superdome's still going to be super loud like it always is. When that place is, and you can probably ask anybody around the league, when that place is full, it's loud, it's roaring. It's probably one of the best home field advantages in the sport. The Superdome just it's different, man. I've been there plenty of times from NFL games to high school games, and I mean it gets super loud, dude. I mean it just echoes. Everything just echoes. But like I said, you got a rookie quarterback on the road. Malik Neighbors is out, so you don't have your stud star receiver. You know you're still trying to figure yourself out. The Saints are hungry for a win. They want to win so bad, dude. You know they do. They're going to be game planning for this. They're going to want this. They're going to be super hungry. So give me the Saints here at home. They get their first win of the season. Spencer Rattler gets his first win of the season. Close, kind of ugly game. I'm gonna say probably in the high teens, low 20s total score wise for both teams. But yeah, give me the Saints at home.
That wasn't enough to change your pick, Pizzle.
No, I'm still riding with the Giants. I think Scatterboo is playing fantastic for them. I just don't see a situation where the Saints are able to stop, you know, either him or the flash of Jackson Dart. I'm riding with the Giants.
Right.
Moving on. 2-2 Broncos. Not starting off quite as good as I thought they would, coming off of that good rookie campaign for Bo Nix. Maybe he's in a sophomore slump a little bit. I haven't really dove deep into how he's performing this year. I know Cortland Sutton's having a decent season. They're on the road facing a 4-0 Eagles team, and like we discussed in before our game picks, some disgruntledness and distraction going on over there in Philly. Eagles are 4.5-point favorites. 43.5 is the over/under. I still like the Eagles at home until they lose. Marley.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Eagles, bro.
I think the Broncos cover the 4.5, though.
Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be closer than people might think, but I mean, it's the Eagles at home. They're 4-0. Come on now, like you can't pick. You gotta pick them until you can't. You know what I mean?
Max.
Yep. This was a tough one for me, man. I've been going back and forth on this the entire time, just because I mean, like I said, look what the Eagles done. They beat really good teams up to this point. The Broncos has lost 2 games, both by 1 score. Lost to the Colts 29-28.
Yep.
Lost to the Chargers 23-20. Then they beat the crap out of the Bengals. They beat the crap out of the Titans. You know, so Eagles have been in 1-score games in every one of them pretty much. I mean, they beat the Cowboys 24-20. They beat the Chiefs 20-17. They beat the Rams 33-26. They beat the Bucks 31-25. So I mean, they've been right there with them, man. I'm probably gonna regret this, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos today.
Okay. Ooh.
The reason I'm gonna go with the Broncos today is their defense is really good. I think they're gonna be getting after Jalen Hurts. I think they're gonna be stuffing that run game with Saquon Barkley as much as they can. And you know, like I said, eventually something's gonna have to shake, man. The Eagles have been getting kind of lucky, you know. I ain't gonna say lucky because they've been winning. They're a very good team, but they've had some things favoring their way this season. So I'm just gonna go a little different route today. I'm gonna take the Broncos on the road.
We like little pizza money adding up. I mean, I already have a parlay, and I'm going actually very late today, less than pizza money on all my game picks. But do we like Broncos plus 4.5 on the road against the Eagles? Or stay away?
That's tough. I think I'm gonna stay away.
All right, no problem. Moving on then. One 2-1. Cowboys in another pick'em game. 1.5 point favorites on the road facing the winless Jets at 0-4, who look promising through the first game of the season against the Steelers, putting up points. The Jets kind of derailed from there, over under 47.5. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah. Un momento, por favor.
Yeah, you gonna flip a coin?
Heads, Cowboys, tails, the Jets. And we're going with the Cowboys.
All right. Max.
Yeah, like this game is. I mean, it's one of those pick'ems, dude. I mean, you just look at this, right?
Imagine
Let's
putting
go
money
over
on
some
this
of
game.
their stats. Let's go over some of their stats. Points scored per game. The Jets are averaging 22.5 points a game. That's 19th in the league. The Cowboys are averaging 28.5. That's 5th in the league. Points allowed per game, though. The Jets are allowing 30 points a game. That's 28th in the league. The Cowboys are allowing 33 points a game. That's 31st in the league.
Ugh.
They're both offenses are doing pretty well. The Cowboys are the number 1 team in the NFL in yards per game. They're 3rd in pass yards per game, and they're 12th in rush yards per game. To where now you flip it, the Jets are 21st in yards per game. They're 29th in pass yards per game, but they are the 3rd best rushing team in the NFL. But you look at some of the other key factors. Time of possession, the Cowboys are 5th in the NFL. The Jets are only 26, which tells you their offensive drives and points scored are flash plays and breakaway plays, are not extended drives. And this just goes to show you that's even further. In third down efficiency on offense, the Cowboys are 6th in the NFL in third down efficiency, to where the Jets are 29th in the NFL. So that tells you they can't keep the ball going. They can't extend drives. This is a tough one for me, though, and the only reason it's really a tough one is just because of the injuries for the Cowboys up to this point. Miles Sanders, his knee, he's questionable. Kenneth Murray's questionable. Offensive line, Tyler Smith's questionable. CeeDee Lamb is out. Kevontae Turpin is out. Tyler Gooden is out. Tyler Booker is out.
You think they gave their best matchup last week against the Packers? Like they showed their best game.
I think they got into a shootout last week in one of those funky, weird games that you tend to happen in the NFL. I mean, just again, let's look back at all of the games, right? Let's look at the Jets first, because we know they're 0-4. They lost to Pittsburgh 34-32. Very close game. They lost to Buffalo 30-10. It's Buffalo. That's what you expect a Super Bowl contender to do to a bad team. Tampa Bay, they lost 29-27. Right there. Miami, they lost 27-21. Right there. Right? So even though they haven't won, in every game they played, they've been competitive. It's been a one-score game.
Yeah.
You look at Dallas, on the other hand, they're 2-2. Or they're 1-2-1.
Right. Remember, we don't count. That didn't count as a loss when we picked that game last week. So
Yeah.
so you guys don't know.
So they lost to Philly to open the season 24.
Wait, it counted as a loss?
No, it's not a loss. It's not a win.
It's a push.
But
So
in
the
the
Dallas
Eliminator
now, going
Challenge,
to
it counts
Dallas.
as a loss. If you pick the Packers or the Cowboys in the Eliminator Challenge last week, you're out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're at the Eagles now, right? First game of the season, Cowboys. They lost 24-20 when they was healthy. Then they played the Giants, beat them 40-37.
That was a crazy game.
40-37. Then they lost to the Bears 31-14, and then they tied the Packers 40-40. So they've also pretty much every game they've played besides one have been a super close game. That's because they both have terrible defenses. And I want to go with the Cowboys because the third down efficiency is better, the time of possession is better, they're more balanced in terms of their offense. They're not leaning so heavy on just a rush game like the Jets are.
He's gonna take the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And the cornerbacks for both teams are pretty bad. You know, this is, like I said, if the Cowboys did not have as many injuries as they did, this would be no question I'd take the Cowboys. The Jets, I want to take them, but I'm still sitting here stuck on whether I want to take them or not, because, like I said, they're not able to sustain drives efficiently. This is just another one of those tough ones, dude. Because like I said, you look at all the injuries for the Cowboys. It's tough. I think I may want to. I think I may have to do the same thing there because, like I said, I don't know. I just don't know who I'm gonna pick.
One of us is going to have a really good week, and one of us is going to have a really bad week. Going against the grain here, Max, but I'm very curious.
Come on. We ain't got all day.
Give me the Cowboys.
Oh,
The
all
fucking Cowboys and the Jets. Yeah.
Give me the Cowboys. I just
1-3
Yeah.
Raiders on the road taking on the 7-point favorite Colts. Indiana Jones and the 3-1 Colts over under 47.5. Colts had an opportunity to win late against the Rams last week. Adonai Mitchell with the fumble for the touchback in the end zone probably cost them that game. I'm taking the
Yep.
Colts here, and this is my survivor pick also because I can't see taking the Colts really in many other games coming up after this, so I'm going to use my survivor pick on the Colts against the turnover machine Raiders and Geno Smith. Marley.
I'm going with the Colts as well.
Oh.
Indiana Jones is out here making plays. Geno Smith and the Raiders just ain't it. Pete Carroll, done. See ya. Have a good day. But yeah, Colts. No biggie.
Max.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts as well here. They're the better team. The Raiders, they're just kind of looking fundamentally lost. Like you said, the Colts probably win that game last week if Adrian Mitchell doesn't just completely whiff and lose his mind. So yeah, give me the Colts here.
Wrapping up the 1 o'clock games, the 1-3 Dolphins coming off of the win against the Jets. Another pick'em game, 1.5-point favorites on the road in Carolina, taking on the 1-3 Panthers. Over under 44.5. Marley, keep that coin out, baby.
Oh God. Heads Panthers, tails Dolphins. We're going Panthers. Ugh.
I am taking the
They're-
Panthers as well at home.
They're
Max,
at home 0-4. They gotta win something, bro.
1-3.
Whatever.
I'm taking the Panthers at home. Max,
Yeah, this like I said, dude, this is just one of those freaking
weeks.
coin toss games, man.
Not really a whole lot on this game. I'm sorry. Like we look at every angle we can. There's just not much to it. The Dolphins
other
are without
angles you can
Tyreek
see.
Hill now. I
Yep.
mean, they're gonna have to depend on
Disgusting
Jalen Waddle,
injury.
who's injury prone.
Disgusting. That injury was disgusting. I hope he can come back and be as fast as he is, because that was just ugly looking, man.
I basically took
Ugly.
the Panthers due to not only them being at home, they just have a little bit of better playmakers, especially the rookies. So
Yeah.
he's got his.
I'm gonna
thinking
take
cap
the
on.
Dolphins.
All right.
You do. Okay.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Fox's game of the week, 4 o'clock games on Fox. 3-1 Bucks taking on the 3-1 Seahawks. The Seahawks favored 3.5 points in this game. I'm very curious. I know Bucky Irving's out. Mike Evans, I believe, is out as well. But we also have the uniform match of the week. Going with the throwbacks, the creamsicles versus the 70s Seahawks jerseys. I'm very excited to watch this game, though.
Oh man, is this in Seattle?
It's in Seattle.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Okay.
If this was in Tampa Bay, I'd take the Bucks, but just because they're playing at home and that the 12th man's going to be livid tonight.
Yeah, the Bucks started
It's-
3-0. They proved that they are mortal last week with the loss. But a very competitive game. They were able to scratch and claw their way back against the Eagles. I just think the Seahawks are just playing all around better. Sam Darnold still looking like last year's Sam Darnold, which we thought maybe he might have fell off a little bit. I'm taking the Seahawks at home to keep pace in the NFC West.
Yeah.
Max.
Sorry, yeah. Me myself, I'm right there with you. Pizzle, I'm also going to take the Seahawks at home here.
Yep.
And how about that uniform matchup today, right? What
Yeah,
what a
beautiful.
what a unique, cool matchup we're going to get there. But yeah, so we got Mike Evans out, so that's already a big loss. And then you also take out Bucky Irvin. That's another huge loss. That's two key pieces of that offense that you're losing there. Not only that, but you're going on the road to Seattle, which we know the 12th man is always a very, very tough and loud place to go play. And like you were saying, the Seattle's just all around the better team right now. I mean, you look at some of their league rankings and everything. They're sixth in the NFL in points scored per game. They're second in the NFL in points allowed per game. They're 18th in the NFL in yards per game. They're 15th in pass yards. They're 18th in rush yards. So they're right there, middle of the pack, and offensively yards wise. Time of possession, they're on the back end of that, so they're not keeping the ball as much. But I mean, they're top 20 in third down efficiency. They're top 10 in sacks. They're the second best team in terms of interceptions and on defense in the NFL right now. They with 7. They're doing all the right things as a complete unit right now. Offense, defense, special teams. They're at home. Like I said, Bucks. No Bucky. No Mike Evans. It's gonna be tough for them. Tough loss last week. Another tough game this week on the road. This is my survivor pick of the week. Give me the Seattle Seahawks at home in those sick, clean throwback uniforms.
I think I'm going to go with Max as well on that one and put the Seahawks as my survivor pick.
Gotcha. Mark it down. 0-4 Titans on the road taking on the 2-2 Cardinals. Cardinals favorite 8.5 points at home. 41.5 is the over/under. So far, so trouble in Tennessee with Cam Ward admitting that we are just not playing good.
That's just that team. I don't know what the hell's going on down there, but it's not good. Yeah.
Well, you've got a brand new rookie quarterback, a new head coach, a new offensive scheme. You've had injury bug that hit late in training camp that's carried over into the season now with some injuries. And just like you said, they haven't been playing good football, man. Just to get in some of their rankings for y'all, just to kind of see points score per game, 32nd in the NFL. So they're the worst team in the NFL in points score per game at only 12.8 a game.
That's terrible.
On the flip side, they're 28th in the NFL in points allowed per game. They're allowing 30 points a game.
Yeah.
So terrible yards per game. They're 31st in the NFL. So basically the worst team, almost the worst team. Pass yards per game, 31st in the NFL. Rush
They're
yards
literally
per
the
game.
worst team in the NFL.
Rush
Literally
yards per game.
They're in competition.
28th in the NFL. Time of possession, 27th in the NFL. Third down efficiency on offense, 32nd in the NFL.
So they're not putting drives together either.
Sacks, 29th in the NFL with only 4. Now interceptions. Now granted, still early, and they're top 10 with 3. But how many other teams have 3 or 2 or 4? You know what I mean? So they're getting turnovers, like taking the ball and everything. But as a whole, yes, they're pretty much the worst team in the NFL. But they're getting some help back today. If I'm not mistaken, Tyjae Spears is going to play today. He's coming back from his injury. Calvin Ridley's still beat up. I think he may be available today as well. But it's not going to really help that much, to be honest with you. I mean, they're just god awful right now. They don't have a lot of good things going for them. So give me the Cardinals at home.
Yeah, unless the Cardinals start slow like they did against the Seahawks on that Thursday night game, I'm confidently taking the Cardinals in this game.
I think we're all taking the Cardinals. And come on now. Worst team. How can you pick the worst team in the league? No.
Well, it's the NFL, but I get it.
I get it, but damn. Yeah.
Couple games to go in the 4:00 slot. Jayden Daniels coming back. 2-2 Commanders without Terry McLaurin still taking on the 3-1 Chargers. Chargers only 2.5 point favorites in this game. Over under 47.5. I like the Chargers at home. I think Jayden Daniels does get back a little bit of form and finds his way into the end zone at least.
I'm gonna go with the Commanders, baby.
Wow.
Jayden Daniels coming back, rested, mentally prepared to come out to the San Diego area, or wherever the hell they're at now, LA, and win this game. Bring the Commanders back to a 3-2 record. keep their playoff hopes alive inside that division with the Eagles just racking up wins right now. The Cowboys got a chance to get a win today. That'll put them in contention. I don't think the Commanders want to take this L, even though it's outside of conference. I don't know. Jaden, they were smart resting him. I'm glad they didn't play him last week. I didn't want him to come in and have a nagging, like Max said. That thing would have been just nagging him all season long. That would have definitely cost you probably in the playoffs because he might not have been there. It's a good job on that coaching staff. I think Jaden Daniels comes out and I know they're still missing their McLaurin, but the kid can make plays, and he's going to make some plays. It's going to be a damn good game, though. This got to be the game of the week. Like, I'm sorry, this is probably the best game of the week.
I mean, that's how I see it on the other side, though, too, with the Chargers. They see a real opportunity to keep pace in the AFC West. I just feel like the Chargers had their loss last week. I think this is their get-right game. That's why I'm taking the Chargers. So both ways to look at it. Max?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Chargers here as well.
See, I'm a big Commanders guy, so I can understand.
They're home. They're home. They're coming off a rough loss last week. That probably stings a lot. I know the Commanders are getting Jaden Daniels back, and honestly, offensively, they didn't look too terrible without him. You go look at the two games that Mariota played that they didn't have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
so
they
the
still
first
put up
one,
points. Yeah.
The first one was the Raiders game. They won 41-24. The second game they lost to the Falcons, but they put up 27 points. So I mean, they still put up some points. The defense still, though, is concerning me. I mean, statistically wise, they still have a pretty decent defense, but they've allowed a good bit of points. And like I said here, how healthy is Jaden Daniels' knee? He has that big knee brace on that he had in practice the other day. I saw. How much does that affect his ability to extend and run around? Does that hamper him any? Does that kind of not give him that full range of motion that he's normally used to?
That's got to put Commanders fans on edge watching their quarterback in a knee brace.
So that's something to watch as well. Does that brace hamper his mobility any? And also, like I said, how nervous is he in terms of that knee and getting hit again and something seriously going wrong? So I think it might take a job or two, being as he's been off for 2 weeks to kind of ease back into it. I do think this is going to be a good game, but Chargers at home here, pretty healthy for the most part, so I'm going to take them here at home, not by a blowout or anything like that. I think it's going to be a dang good game, like Marley said. Mm-hmm. I just think, the rust Jaden Daniels may have on him for being off 2 weeks, that knee brace, like I said, how much does that hamper his mobility, and in terms of how flexible he's able to move and run comfortably, like he's used to. So that's just some things to look out for. But give me the Chargers at home.
Wrapping up the 4:00 slap. 3 games to go. This game looked good in week 1 on paper, at least. The 3-1 Lions, 10.5-point favorites on the road, taking on the 2-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Over under 49.5, which they expect to put points up in this game still. Look, yeah, I know Jake Browning is a solid backup quarterback, but I just really think Cincinnati is screaming down there. This team is screaming because this is now Burrow's, 3rd injury? He's going to be out for a long time.
Something like that.
I really think it's becoming anxious and troubling for Cincinnati down there. When they have opportunity to keep pace in the division, now they have an opportunity to go to 2-3 if they lose this game.
So Lions you have 40
either. We've shown the exposure of the Lions coming out week 1 against the Packers. They got right and moved to 3-1 eventually, but I think the Lions, this is no contest. The Lions should win by more than 10.5 points this game. I'm taking the Lions.
There is no way the Bengals can put up that many points.
Yeah, we'll see. I got a feeling.
I'm just saying. I know he's got them 2 dudes over there, Higgins and Chase, and I know it. I do. But I don't see the Lions defense letting Jake Browning go off like that. Like, he's not that dude. He's not Joe Burrow. And that's the kicker. You got 48% of your cap space going to 3 guys. And Burrow's been hurt every damn season. And now what are you going to do? You're going to go to 2-3 if you're lucky. And you're inside a division right now that's, but we'll see. I don't see the Bengals being able to put up that many points, though, so I'm going to take the Lions. Nope.
Max.
Not so fast, my friends.
No, this guy. Here he goes with his LSU. Here he goes.
No. I know. I know where he's going with this one. This game is kind of set up to be a trap game.
No, I'm just kidding with y'all. This is I'm not even thinking of picking the Bengals. Let me tell you why.
I figured he had a Jamar Chase tidbit we weren't aware of, that this guy can throw the fucking ball to himself.
Like I said, Browning can still get the ball out. It's just like the offensive line is the reason why Burrow's hurt.
So
so then you got a bad offensive line that's with a quarterback that can't do shit. So yeah, good luck with that.
So y'all know I went over the Titans tidbits, right? And their offensive rankings and how bad they were, or their team rankings per se. Let's listen to the Bengals, right? Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready?
Y'all ready for this?
Points scored per game. The Bengals are 30th in the NFL. In points allowed per game, the Bengals are 27th in the NFL. In yards per game on offense, the Bengals are 32nd in the NFL. In pass yards per game, the Bengals are 30th in the NFL. In rush yards per game, the Bengals are 32nd in the NFL. In time of possession on offense, the Bengals are 32nd in the NFL. On third down efficiency, the Bengals are 23rd in the NFL.
Interesting.
In stats, they are 24th in the NFL. But in interceptions, they have 5. They're 4th in the NFL. So they're pretty much the worst offense in the NFL. Like even worse than the Titans in terms of a yards per game perspective. To where on the flip side, you look at the Lions, they're first in the NFL in points scored per game. Middle of the pack defense up to this point. They're 15th in points allowed per game. Yards per game on offense, 8th. Pass yards per game, 13th. Rush yards per game, 6th. Time of possession, 9th. Third down efficiency, 11th. Sacks on their defense, 3rd. Interceptions.
Where's the flag?
8th.
Sorry.
So
they tried to match up Justin Jefferson. Denzel Ward's been shutting down. Here. Denzel Ward's been shutting down Justin Jefferson all game, and now they put Greg Newsome on him. So he comes up with a big play and then throws the ball at Newsome and gets in his face, and they don't throw a flag. Like that should have been a taunting flag.
But anyway, so yeah, you have the worst offense in the NFL right now, going up against a middle of the pack defense, but then you have one of the worst defense, middle of the pack, worst defenses going up against the best offense, arguably one of the best offenses in the NFL. I mean, this is like I said, this should be a blowout, man. This should not even be close. Now, this is the NFL. Stuff happens. We see crazy games all the time. These are the best players in football in the world. In this league, we still have to remember that. So even the practice squad people are better than 98% of everyone else in the entire world. But I mean, this should not even be a game, bro. So like, I'm with you. I think the Lions win, and they win big here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some backups in middle to late of the third quarter.
Ooh, he's calling backups.
Damn. Sunday night football, 2-2 Patriots at Buffalo taking on the 4-0 Bills. Bills are favored 8.5 points in this game, 49.5. I think this game's going to be close, at least the first half. I know the Bills we're all probably going to end up taking the Bills. But I like the way that the Patriots are starting out. They've had like one good game, one good bad game. One bad game, one good game. That's why they're 2-2. But the Bills are just going to still continue to roll. I don't see them losing for a few more weeks at least. I'm taking the Bills at home. And they're introducing their rivalry uniforms this week, too. So those look pretty cool. Taking the Bills at home, Sunday Night Football. Marley?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that as well. Josh Allen's just playing out of his mind right now, and the Bills are just rolling. So, Patriots, we'll see. But I don't know. Could be a good game. Nice game. Nice division rivalry for Sunday Night Football. I like to see them having something slightly entertaining on because at least, the Patriots aren't a total wash at the moment. So we'll see here. But yeah, let's go with the Bills at home. They're going to jump through tables all night long.
I am actually going to go with the Patriots.
Wow.
I knew it.
You want me to tell you why I'm going to go with the Patriots?
Let's hear it.
So first off, let's look at some of these statistics in this game to kind of see where these teams rank, kind of stack up with each other.
Now, but hold on, wait. I want post Tom Brady stats. I don't want to hear about 2010.
No.
He's
These
been out
are
of the league for a few years. You got to remember though too. Since Josh Allen's been in.
these are current rankings on these teams this season. This is what I'm going off of. So let's look at points scored per game. 33 for the Bills, which is second in the NFL. 25.5 for the Patriots, which is number 10th in the NFL.
Okay.
Points allowed per game. The Bills are the 17th best team in the NFL. The Patriots are 10th in the NFL.
A little bit better defense.
Yards per game. The Bills are third in the NFL. The Patriots are 16th in the NFL. Pass yards per game. The Bills are 7th in the NFL. The Patriots are 8th in the NFL.
Impressive.
In rush yards per game, the Bills are first in the NFL. The Patriots are 25th in the NFL. So there's the big discrepancy right there. Time of possession, they're both kind of the same. So there's not a huge gap necessarily. It's just they are in the rankings, I guess, just because how they do it. Time of possession is nearly the same, but ranking wise, the Bills are third. The Patriots are 17th.
Not bad.
Now we get to third down efficiency. They're both right there around the same. The Bills are 7th in the NFL. The Patriots are 10th. You look at sacks in the NFL. The Bills are 18th. The Patriots are 12th. And then you look at interceptions. Now the Bills has 2. The Patriots have 3. So there's only one difference. But if we're going off rankings, I don't know how they do this. The Bills are 17th. The Patriots are 8th. So they've had some pretty comparable starts so far. They both have a pretty solid defense, a solid offense. Neither one of them are just terrible. But this is where the difference in it lies for me is who they've played up to this point. And the reason I say that is let's look at the Patriots and who they've played, right? So they've played the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a 1-3 team, a 1-3 team, a 3-1 team, and a 1-3 team. So now we look at who the Bills have played.
Look at this Bills
schedule,
man.
4-0. The Bills are 4-0, but the Bills beat the 1-3 Ravens. The Bills beat the 0-4 Jets.
But they beat the 1-3 Ravens Dolphins. With Lamar Jackson. They beat they barely beat Lamar Jackson.
That's true. But we see you're only as good as what you are right now. So we know they're a bad team. Even with Lamar, they were a bad team. They was 1-2 with Lamar.
That fucking score was like 30. What to what?
Yeah, 41 but also is a testament of their defense, which has been consistent all year. I get it. Yeah, I get you, Max.
So, like I said, you beat the 1-3 Ravens, you beat the 0-4 Jets, you beat the 0-4 Dolphins, you beat the 0-4 Saints. Every team you've played has a combined 1 win. Now, the Patriots are much better, but the Steelers are 3-1, so that's 4 wins compared to 1 out of all the games you've played. Mm-hmm. The Bills are really good. Do not get me wrong. They are a very good team. We know how good Josh Allen is. We know how good James Cook is. We know how good of a head coach McDermott is. We know how good of offensive play caller Joe Brady is. We know their defense has playmakers that can step up and make plays. But they literally have played nobody. Their teams have a combined 1 win out of 4 games this season. We can't say exactly how good the Bills are because the Bills have not played a single team that is not going to be a team competing for a top 5 draft pick yet. They haven't played one yet. They haven't played a playoff team yet. Not a single one of them. I know what you're saying, Marley. They played the Ravens week 1, yada, yada, yada. But the Ravens are a bad team. They were 1-2 with Lamar Jackson.
I get your answer, Max. As a whole of all the teams that they played combined, as a whole,
as a play, and it wasn't because of Lamar necessarily. Now, Derrick Henry fumbled a couple times. The offense were still good, but their defense is still one of the worst in the NFL. So their offense is good, yes. So we can say, yes, they beat the Ravens, they beat Lamar Jackson, but he didn't beat Lamar. He beat the Ravens defense, which we already know is one of the worst in the NFL up to this point right now. So okay, what team has he played as a whole that's good? He has not played a single team that either has a good defense or a whole team as a unit because that's what he's going up against, the defense. So like I said, I'm not knocking the Bills at all. I'm not saying they're not Super Bowl contenders. Josh Allen's not an MVP candidate, yada, yada. I'm just saying They have not played anybody. This is the best team they have played by far up to this point. Just like this is the best team the Patriots have played up to this point. But the Patriots do have a win over a quality team that will be in the playoffs, or more likely should be in the playoffs, in the Steelers. Granted, the Steelers, still figuring themselves out. How good are the Steelers? We still don't know. Their defense looked terrible in some aspects, and then they look really good. The offense looks terrible in some aspects, then they look really good. So we still need a few weeks before we figure out who the Steelers truly are, but they still are 3-1 and a division leader currently. The Bills have not played anybody up to that level at all. Not even a 3-1 team, not even a 2-2 team. Their best win is against a 1-3 team. So I need to see it. I want to see it. I think they are going to win, but there's something today telling me to go with the Patriots. There's something telling me that this is a trap game. This is a sneaky game. You've got the Bills at home, 4-0. Everything's rolling. They're the favorites. They're going to win it all. They've done beat the Ravens and proven Lamar Jackson. Lamar wasn't the MVP. Allen was. Yada, yada. And I feel like they're sleepwalking against a very solid Patriots team. A very solid Patriots team that's got a quarterback now that's in his second year that's really showing good promising signs. They've got some solid playmakers around that's stepping up. The defense is getting better each day. The offensive line is getting better. Will Campbell, I don't know if y'all have been noticing him or seeing some of his stats. The LSU first-round pick from last year has been fantastic up to this point in both the run game and the passing game. So he's being that blindside blocker that they was looking for and needing for Drake May. You think you've got that now in Will Campbell. He's played phenomenal. So, like I said, let me see this game today. I think this is going to be a hard fought division game. I'm feeling antsy today. So, let me take the Patriots here on the road in a very hard fought close game. Now, if the Bills blow them out and then hey, I'll eat my crow. I'll eat my words and say, hey, look, I was wrong. It didn't matter. But like I said, you have to take things into context. And with the context, the Bills have not played a single team that's going to sniff the playoffs.
I will say, so based off of the stats you gave me pregame or before we made our picks in this game, something to look out for, because I know, I'm sure we will get to watching this game tonight. If the Patriots can convert, maintain their trend of the third down efficiency, and if they can get the running game going a little bit, they will be in this game. I will say that.
Absolutely. That's my main thing as well, is how effectively, because they have not really been effective in running the football up to this point. They're near the bottom of the league. What can you do to get creative in the run game? Can you do more under center, kind of misdirection, pulling the guards, motion to get more downhill instead of left to right as much? I don't know what that's going to look like, but like you said, if they can get in positions where they can convert those, 3-2s and those 3-5s, whether it's passing or running the football, I think they're going to be in this game every step of the way, because, like I said, this is going to be the best defense the Bills have played up to this point. So we're going to see it. So I'm very excited for this game. Honestly, I think this is a pretty sucky week to be honest as a whole. I mean, you've got a lot of 1-3 and 0-4 teams playing each other this week. But this game, the Bucks and the Seahawks game, could have been either one. Probably could have been the primetime late night game, and you probably wouldn't have had a bad pick with those two. But I do like this one being the standalone primetime game tonight, because, like I said, both teams are pretty much healthy. It's a division rivalry game. I think the Patriots are being slept on right now just because of their record. Because they got a couple bad losses, but like I said, they're still a young team. They're still a team trying to gel together with a new coaching staff and everything. But
good stuff.
I like them on the road today.
All right, one game to go, boys. I want to watch a little bit of my game if I could. Monday Night Football, Chiefs 2-2, favorite 3 points on the road, taking on we don't know what they are yet, but trending in the right direction. Jacksonville Jaguars wearing their throwback jerseys, which I absolutely love. 46.5 is the over-under. Marley, this is a big game for both teams. This is really I think it's going to be a big step on how the rest of the season is going to go for these two teams. If I had to make a bold.
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Wow.
I'm taking the Jaguars. They're at home. Monday night. Trevor Lawrence making a statement. Going to come out.
You know, we keep saying we want to keep running the Chiefs to the ground, a team that ended up 15-2 and in the Super Bowl last year. I think it's going to be very, very lucky for them to see how they can win or lose these close games. It just eventually catches up to them. I'm still taking the Chiefs here. I just think that they're just a little bit of a better team than the Jaguars right now. And until they start stringing away some losses, I'm still going to pick the Chiefs.
Yeah, their numbers are pretty comparable up to this point statistically wise. Looking over it, there's not huge discrepancies in the statistics. There's not like one's in this one there's top 10, the others bottom of the league. They're pretty close in all of them, honestly. Both teams that all the teams they played up to this point pretty comparable as well. Some key wins for the Jaguars early, some key wins for the Chiefs early, some bad losses for the Chiefs, one bad loss for the Jaguars. But something feels off about the Chiefs this year. I don't know what it is, man. I mean, they lost to the Eagles by 3, they lost to the Chargers by 6. They beat the Baltimore Ravens by 17. They beat the Giants 22-9. But just I don't know, something feels off about them to me for this reason. Patrick Mahomes' stats aren't bad. They look pretty decent. They just don't vertically they don't seem like the same team, right? They don't seem like oh my god, we got to worry about a 60 70 yard bomb. Like that's not like their style anymore for some reason. It's this game's honestly going to depend on Trevor Lawrence. What Trevor Lawrence are we going to get? Are we going to get a solid, good, above average Trevor Lawrence? Or are we going to get the sucky, he makes bad decisions, bad reads, those bad interceptions, Trevor Lawrence? I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. But I'm gonna go with Marley on this one. Feeling antsy on this Sunday. I'm gonna take the Jaguars at home here and see what they look like. Again, if I eat my words, the Chiefs make me eat my words, just like the Bills will if they win. But I don't know. It's a wacky, weird season, so I'm gonna make some weird picks. So yeah, give me the Jaguars at home here.
Love it.
Let's go.
Good stuff today, boys. Absolutely love it. Appreciate your time. We did about 2 hours on the show. Absolutely love it. Just to update, Browns in the red zone. The Vikings put together a good drive to open the second half. They went down, scored a touchdown. Minnesota currently leads 14-10. Browns are driving in the red zone, first and goal at the 9-yard line. So looking forward to watching the rest of this game. Happy Sunday, everybody. Go make some money. Go eat some good food. Go enjoy this weather, depending on where you are. We've had a fantastic start to our October here in the Midwest.
Oh yeah,
I will say that. Appreciate you boys hanging out with us today for this lengthy show. Always a pleasure. Peace of Mind Sports Podcast. Get into the Overs Club. Make some bets. Make some money. Go Browns. Enjoy your bye week, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Stress-free Sunday today.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Peace out.